Howdy folks, howdy. Yes sir, Sean Brock here with you. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I'd sure appreciate it, and you won't miss all the interesting goings on and interesting instruments that pass through this way. I don't know, whatever. Seriously though, subscribe. I would certainly appreciate it. And so here we go. This is a familiar guitar to many of you on the channel. And last week, me and Jimmy Edmonds were texting about something, just small talking about the weather and this, that, and the other. And I said, man, I said I was going to do a video of my D-18 after it turned a year old. And I kind of missed on my Brazilian, was a couple months late on that. Well, the very day I thought this, I went back and looked, and the video was done. The unboxing video was May 4th, and here it was, May the 4th. And I said, I'll be dogged, it's in exactly a year. And here I am a few days late because I'm constantly dealing with some fools on some real estate matters. So I wasn't able to just willy-nilly get her out and do the video of her. But now here we are a year later, same guitar. If you don't remember this guitar, or if you don't know anything about it, you may want to check out the unboxing video. But basically this is a Red Spruce Sunburst D-18. Got maple binding on the body. We got ebony bridge, ebony fingerboard. I chose the drop-in saddle. We got bone saddle, bone nut, and Waverly tuners with the koa buttons on them, and a real fat neck. I wanted a really fat neck, Evo gold fret wire. And I got this thing in, unboxed it, played it, and the only changes that I made is I turned the truss rod, I think, about 1/8 of a turn the day after I got it, and I've not adjusted the truss rod since. I actually added a little bit of relief at that time, and I haven't adjusted it since. And it just plays like a champ. And I have my relief actually quite low, and it's still, I haven't changed anything. Well, one thing that happened was people got to ordering these, and Jimmy said, well, why don't we make this the Sean Brock model? And how about if you sign some labels and we'll put them in it? So I did, when we did the labels, I put a sound hole label in here. And that's the only two physical changes that there is to speak of. So how has the sound changed over the last year? Well, it's the same old real tight bass. The treble, I still got the brightness. And these are really old strings, by the way, but they are the same strings, not the same set, but X Diodario XS, phosphor bronze medium, 1356. This is either the same pick or one just like it, a blue chip TAD 42, which I have Matt Goins make those. I want something just slightly thicker than the 40 and something slightly thinner than the 45, and so I settled on the 42 and have a few of those, but everything is the same. I think sound wise, the treble, as you heard, I mean, I still got the ability, they're still bright, but they have got to where they will really sweeten up if I want them to. And I'm out of tune. I've been doing some alternate tuning stuff here today. But these trebles have gotten they've got the chocolate milk going on. I mean, they'll darken up real nice, and you know, a lot of that is just age, playing. Well, you can hear the guitar when I'm talking. Can you hear it? It's very lively, and of course that's from being played pretty hard for a year. And one thing you'll notice on a new guitar, obviously, if we strum a chord and we feel behind the bridge, feel this great vibration, or you should get your money back. But if we go to the upper bout, we on a brand new guitar, we may not feel that much going on the upper bout. And if you start tracing it down with your hand, there's usually about right here, kind of midway of the waist. It's almost like somebody drew an imaginary line, and you're not really getting a whole lot of vibration in the upper bout. And playing something frequently, playing it in different keys, and if you use different hand positions, will increase that. It'll open that upper bout up, and that's where a lot of kind of your sweetness comes out of, I believe. And there's a lot of classical guitar makers that believe the same thing, and from what I've seen, they're right. So, you know, obviously we've got those kind of changes, and you can really hear more oomph, I guess. You know, more kind of coming out of it, because the whole guitar is. I said at the time I made the video, you know, if it had been a used guitar that had been played hard for 20 years, I would kind of expect that it wouldn't really get much better. It would have done most of the growing that it would ever do. And I said, you know, when I got this guitar out of the box and played it, if this guitar never got any better, I would be 100% satisfied. But it did get better. It did get better, and Red Spruce is kind of moody. It's not moody anymore at all, though it was never all that moody. And man, I'll just say this is my favorite guitar that I've owned. This is my favorite dreadnought guitar that I've owned. And you know, there's a reason that I've got 3 of these. And everybody knows me as I'm a mahogany guy at heart, and that is not that I believe mahogany is necessarily superior to something else. It's just that's what I grew up playing on, and it's just very, very familiar to me. So when all's said and done, I usually tend to prefer it. So, you know, there is that portion of it too. You know, because it records so well. Mahogany in general makes a well-rounded recording wood, and this guitar in particular. Another thing that has changed is the amount of overtones. I did not want a really, really dry guitar. There's some people who want that and need that, but in my world, with the things that I do, I want something that's got some sustain. I don't want something to have a cavern, mind you, but I want something that has some sustain, because I tried owning a real dry guitar once, and I found that I just started leaving it out on recording work more and more and more, just because it, you know, like, oh, I can't really play it on this stuff because this stuff's kind of poppy and it requires, you know, a lot of sustain or something. So I learned my lesson on the dry guitars for me. And this thing, tone color just everywhere you go. And just an awesome machine, and I have sure loved it. been proud to play it, just hours a day, a lot of the time over the last year. And there she is. She's a year old. I feel like some of the punch is, a little more accentuated. So, these are things that come to good guitars that are well made by a good craftsperson, with proper materials. And as I usually do, if you're interested in one of Jimmy's guitars, see the description box. You visit edmondsguitars.com, and you can contact him, call him, email him, text him, all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate you guys, and I love y'all, and hope you're doing well. And happy birthday to this beautiful thing. It sure has made my life a lot more enriched, just the ownership of it. Thank y'all.